right, with that, welcome into day 2 of the second weekend of the MLE playoffs. I am Curtis, and I'm going to be joined by my partner here in a second, and name it Jay. But Jay, we walk into the Academy League, and it's the Hive and Foxes going to kick off day 2 on the main channel. Should be a good one between two division winners.
Yeah, we've got a couple of spots left. 8 teams coming into the matches tonight on MLE Esports GG. 4 of them will walk away with berths in the conference finals. But up first, the Academy League taking full view here as two division champions, going head-to-head here. The Hive getting through their first-round opposition. The Foxes as well, 2 of the only top seeds in all of MLE Esports to make it through the first round. A lot of attrition last week in the quarterfinals, as we see an untested Foxes roster here to go up against the Hive in this best-of-5 series.
Yeah, Tyler coming in has been used to this. He's been in this situation a couple of times. He comes in Frodo, not really going to be... Well, he's got to get thrown in the fire here, Jay, in the middle of a playoff run that the Foxes are trying to continue. He is in a bit of an unfamiliar situation, but Tyler's been in this situation before, as mentioned. He's worked with new partners more than a couple times this season already.
I'm expecting this one to be a defensive battle. The Foxes bringing in Frodo Swaggins late from the Aviators a couple of weeks ago, just before the playoffs. Second overall for individual saves in Academy League. Up against the Hive roster, though, Delu and Black, who have the most saves as a pairing in Academy League, 60 combined between them. So I think between these two teams, don't expect a very high-scoring series. This one is going to be grindy. This one is going to be difficult for teams to break down. Expect 1, 2, maybe 3 goals total in each of the 5 games.
No, hopefully that is the case, and hopefully they make for a very competitive series. We're going to wait no longer, though. We're going to get these teams in and let them at them. It's the Hive and the Foxes, the Academy League, taking center stage. We'll get the signal out to the teams here right now as Black and Delu join up, as do Frodo and Tyler. Game 1 about to be on the horizon here, DFH Day, as we kick off things on the mainstream. We are underway with game number 1. It is going to be Black and Frodo going after the kickoff first. Delu into the middle. Chance for Tyler to boom this one downfield right at Black, who tries to handle it. Tries the catch, doesn't work. Puts one out front. Frodo comes in, takes a shot that's going to be a little bit high and above the crossbar. Hive going to try a counterplay, but it looks like a missed opportunity by Black at the midfield's going to give the Foxes back the ball. 20 seconds in. Hive on the attack on this play. Their first opportunity. That one's crossbar and down. It stays away. A second shot. Frodo comes out and makes a save, and he'll try to give it a follow and get the Foxes out of danger there on the first good Hive opportunity.
A lot of early patience by Frodo, but Tyler, wasting no time, splits the Hive defense, and the Foxes on the counter take the lead.
And Black went into that corner to try to attack the ball, has to rotate back same side. Delu not sure where he needs to be as well. Black and Delu, I think a little bit of this miscommunication there, Jay, as to which one needed to go after to cut that off.
Difficult in the scramble there is off the shot. The good save by Frodo. The ball was pretty much unchallenged, uncontested at midfield. I believe it was Black tracking it backwards. Delu came across. The Hive players got their wires crossed, and Tyler took full advantage of it.
And that'll work. 50 seconds in, already first goal on the board. This one in favor of the Foxes. Foxes have to play some defense here. Frodo goes off the lateral wall, sets up the Hive for an opportunity, but Frodo immediately gets up to take that one away. Here comes Tyler. Tyler around 1. Can't get around 2 as he puts it a little bit too far to his left. Frodo waiting back on defense. Hive going for the corner touch. That's not going to go. Frodo out in the middle. Tyler with the play on the challenge. We'll get an opportunity here. Nice midfield by the Hive with 3:40 to go in game 1. Chance into the middle, trying to put it into frame, but Frodo is equal to that. Tyler gets it deep downfield and give the Foxes another chance on some offense as they try to forecheck it out of the corner. Minute and a half gone. Tyler loses this over the midfield line. Give chase into his own corner. Hive in a good spot. Delu towards the net, and that's going to find its way home with a little help from the Foxes. Game tied at 1.
A lot of help from the Foxes, to be honest, as Delu just grinds this one out, fighting in that corner against Tyler. Pops up, takes it away from Frodo, who actually had the line to get that one clear. The Hive don't care how it goes in. They take those, and it's a tie game.
Yeah, especially in the playoff series. No doubt about that one, especially one that has a chance to be very, very competitive. This will be a touch towards the Hive net. Black is equal to this. Off the nose, down to Delu. Delu towards the net. Frodo's going to have to make a save, and he does. Good one to stay patient on this. Give the Foxes back the ball. Game tied at 1 still, right wing side. Tyler waits back. Delu goes over 1. Doesn't go over 2. Black's going to have to make a play. Puts this lateral off the wall. Gives it a follow. Challenge doesn't go the way of Black as Frodo wins the challenge into the corner. He'll back off and defer. Frodo, midfield line. Black, deep back the other way. Oh, good bounce for the Hive towards the net and wide of the intended target, which is the left post. Foxes survived that opportunity for the moment, and it remains a 1-1 game.
Frodo Swaggin so far in the course of this first game, very much the net presence for the Foxes, letting Tyler do the difficult work in the offensive and defensive corners. Big reason why I think Frodo for the Aviators led the league almost in saves. That one, there's a tough angle, nowhere to work with, and the Hive with the one from the parking lot take the lead.
And Frodo caught in an unenviable spot here, ball going back towards the net. He realizes if he touches it, it's going to go in anyway, so he just tries to bait the Hive player into touching it wide. Didn't quite get the job done as he put it in the far corner, and that gives the Hive the 2-1 advantage with about 2 minutes to go.
It's such a difficult line to take when you know it's rolling into the net.
Yeah.
You know you have to touch it, but the only options you have with the boost you have available is into your own net.
That's unfortunate. Foxes down 1, going to try to make a comeback here in game 1. Tyler gets the touch, but doesn't go very far. Hive on a bit of an attack here. Good stuff shown from them the last minute and a half or so. Tyler into that corner, up the sidewall it goes. That'll go off the nose. Gets the flip, but it goes right at Delu. Fox is trying to set up the Hive into giving them back the ball in the offensive end. So far, the Hive have done a really good job of controlling the ball in their own end. That double touch from Black is gorgeous and give them a 2-goal advantage.
A little bit of a fortuitous bounce as well. Black putting the first one wide. Also on the double touch, a little bit wide on the hit. Hits it very direct. Might have bounced in anyway, but it hits Tyler in front of the net, skims off, and in the Foxes getting beat in transition here a couple of times now, chasing the game by a pair.
90 seconds to go in game number 1, and we have a 3-1 Hive advantage. 4 combined goals with still some time to play. A little bit higher scoring than I think you and I both thought this was going to be, at least initially. Black with a chance, going to put this at the net. Tyler can't make the save, making a 4-1 advantage, and the Hive running away.
If you take away a couple of awkward bounces for the Foxes, this really is just a 2-1 game, as Black all the time in the world to shoot that one there off the challenge by Frodo that skims out to the mid for the Hive on that one. A little bit more dominant performance from the Hive than we were expecting after the start to this one. The Foxes still struggling, I think, to find their rhythm in this.
70 seconds left in game 1. It'll be a chance for Delu. Delu trying to get into the scoring touch. Frodo gets the demo, and Tyler back to take the ball away from the net. He'll have a chance to move it back to midfield, but doesn't get any farther than the left wing side. Frodo, sealing in down, goes just past the midfield stripe, has a chance on offense here. Misses the opportunity, that's going to play laterally. Fox is trying to keep possession in the Hive end. They could do well to get some momentum going into the second game if they can. Frodo keeps it going. Tries to pass out in the middle, that'll hit the ceiling and eventually come down right on top of Tyler. Tyler's going to pop it up, look for a follow. Second touch is down. Frodo comes in. They need a goal, and he's going to get it saved, unfortunately, for the Foxes, as that will get back to midfield. Delu over to Black. The infield pass is good, but the Hive will keep possession of the Foxes' end. 17 ticks left. Game 1 coming down to a bit of an anticlimactic finish, all told. At least for the Hive, as far as the Foxes are concerned, they would have loved to make more of a game of it. 5 seconds left as this one will go into the corner, and the Hive are going to take a 1-0 series lead as they'll try to pop in one more just for the lulls, and it will hit the ground at the top of the box. Hive lead them 1-0 in this best of 5.
Not a lot to really choose from between these teams, as the Hive got a couple of really good bounces off the Foxes. They caught the Foxes in tough spots. They caught them looking for boost and looking for the loose ball a little bit overextended. And I mean, okay, one own. Let's count it. One own goal, one shot where the Foxes were out of boost.
Yep.
Another double touch that hits a Foxes player and goes in. Like, if you discount a couple of those bounces there, this is a much closer game than what we actually saw on the scoreboard here. So if the Foxes can dial it back down, start to impose themselves, at least in the game, a little bit there. Because once the Hive found that first couple of goals, they started to run with it, and the Foxes just kind of fell back away from the game. I think we should see a lot closer series.
Yeah, I'm hoping that is indeed the case. Foxes looking to make a comeback and get into game 2 a little bit quicker. The Foxes, they started out okay, but as the Hive continued to wear them down, there was a fatigue factor, it seemed, and kind of a, hey, we're out of boost again kind of thing from the Foxes that they just couldn't recover from. And credit to the Hive for continuing to push the ball in the offensive end, keep the pressure up.
Exactly. There's not a lot that you need to do when you're doing everything right. And the Hive were managing boost a little bit better than the Foxes. They were at least putting the Foxes in tough spots so that they could get the bounces that they needed to, but still not really doing a ton other than letting the Foxes beat themselves in that first game.
If the Foxes can get themselves going into game number 2, D-Lou is going to have second touch as the kickoff basically goes right to him. Hive trying to get the first strike in game 2 as well. This will be off the nose of Black towards that net. He finds the drop, essentially a free throw from the top of the key. It's a 1-0 lead.
Frodo tried to go up for that one, didn't get the read proper, and ends up flying underneath it. Tries to fly back as Black climbing up the ladder to lob that one goalward. Doesn't really do much with the touch, doesn't have to as well with the Foxes out of position on that one. And the Hive start game 2 strong.
Yep, 15 seconds in, they have the lead. They have enough goals to win this second game. Fox is going to try to turn it around. Tyler coming in, has some control, has it around one, then the second, and he put them on a platter and served them up. It's 1-1 game.
The Dominus so good at these small control plays. Gets D-Lou backwards, little cut back to the inside to get it around the first challenge. Black trying to get there, won't get there in time as Tyler puts the team on the back and puts the Foxes into this one.
25 seconds in, already have 2 combined goals, 1 from each side. Black is going to get a touch up the sidewall and try to get the Hive back in front. Back to midfield it'll go, where it'll be D-Lou who waits. He'll try to attack it. Black with a good touch. He's got a runner if he can control this. Back the other way, towards the net, and Frodo can't get there in the nick of time. It'll be a 2-1 lead for the Hive as they get one back.
Good challenge at midfield. Black just baits in the first dive from Tyler, gets around. Frodo's trying to get back, has an angle, but Black reads it all the way, keeps the collision on the hitbox in line, puts that one into the net. 2 goals now for the Hive. 3 goals total in this series inside the first minute.
Yeah, 41 seconds in and already a pretty good shootout style gameplay as we have in front of us. Black towards the Foxes net. Tyler and Frodo both go for that ball. Maybe continued miscommunication that they might have had earlier. Tyler's going to try for this on the dunk. It'll drop in front of the Hive net. That's a big problem for the Hive, and it's going to find its way in. Frodo gets the last touch and ties the game up where Deuce is wild.
Black doesn't get a great contact on that as Tyler does enough to put the defender off for the Hive. D-Lou comes underneath the shot, has to try and swing around, can't do it. And Frodo Swaggins muscles that one home. Tie game. 4 goals in a minute for these teams.
Yeah, they're on pace for a solid 20-goal game if things continue at this, which I don't think is anywhere near possible, but we'll see. Tyler puts us off the lateral wall. Good touch by Frodo's going to put this deep into the Hive end. It'll travel up the ramp. Defensive touch by Black will get it back to the top of the box, but Tyler's there with an absolute seed into the left side of the net. Give them a 3-2 lead for the Foxes.
Great shot by Tyler, but don't discount the pressure by Frodo on the backboard. Just does enough to disrupt Black on the shot. He doesn't quite get the bump, but that psychological pressure of having a player challenge you on the backboard there, you don't get the touch you need, and all of a sudden the Foxes now with a 3-2 lead.
Minute 18 in, 5 combined goals now. The total keeps going up. Hive going to try and tie the game again, going far side with this, and Frodo has to put it across goal mouth to get it away. The Foxes are able to clear their lines as Tyler has possession and control. Puts it a little bit too far out in front of him. Back to midfield, it'll travel for Frodo. Frodo gets the bounce off the corner. That's in front. Chance there, and it's good. Give the Foxes their first 2-goal lead of the evening.
Frodo, great job keeping this one. He gets a very good bounce. D-Lou doesn't read it well, and Black stuck at the near post. Didn't quite expect the bounce either as it takes a one-hopper, skips between the Hive and the Foxes, keeping the read alive. Go now, I think, 3 unanswered to go up 4-2.
They're minute 40 in, and now we have 6 combined goals. How about Tyler trying to add 1 more to the total? Right wing side for Frodo, that's going to be a miss. Black and D-Lou on a 2v1, back the other way. Black was looking for D-Lou, but D-Lou not able to get there as the interrupt at the top of the key definitely knocked that away. That pinch is going to send it hard back in the Hive, and Tyler towards the net. Frodo in the area as well. That challenge will send it careening hard off the corner wall, and the Hive will be able to clear their line for the time being as we come close to halftime in Game 2. This one goes above the midfield stripe. Chance for the Hive to put one towards the net. Black puts it there. Tyler is equal to it. Off the nose goes Tyler. Has a second touch. Has the angle, but a little bit wide as he runs the short post. Unfortunately, not to his advantage. And the Foxes will have to chase back in their own side as this is pounded in front. Right there for D-Lou, and he puts it home. Get them back to within a goal as we hit the halfway mark.
The Foxes started to stretch the game with the demos, the offensive pressure, but the transition bites them here as Tyler can't get back around from the corner. Black gets a great touch coming out of the corner to bounce it over Frodo to set up D-Lou in front. And that is an important goal for the Hive here. Just past halftime, they get the lead to 1.
And that's a big goal to get. Don't want to leave it to the last seconds if you can, if you're trying to make a comeback attempt. D-Lou puts this up in the air. Top of the box. Black will wait and then attack. D-Lou going to follow this into the offensive corner as Black had no boost. Good save by the Foxes, but they do pay for it as Tyler has to wait 3 seconds to play again. Frodo goes off the lateral wall. Tough spot, but D-Lou reads it well. Looking for a possible double touch, but above the crossbar. Great defensive play by Frodo. He's going to get this back to midfield, but no farther. Hive looking to set up shop in the offensive end. That's going to bounce in frame. D-Lou's going to fly by the ball. Can't tie the game up, and that's an opportunity gone by for the Hive.
They needed that. Frodo dove deep into the Hive end looking for boost. It was a 2-on-1, had the cage at his mercy, and the Hive let the Foxes live another day. If they lose this one, remember that chance.
D-Lou in front, in frame scores, and the own goal is going to give D-Lou the shot to get the Hive back level.
Big dunk by D-Lou on Frodo. Didn't get all of it, Frodo, and unfortunately left that chance there. Tyler had to come across, couldn't find the angle, and the Hive finally tie it up.
Hive on even terms with the Foxes getting into a competitive game number 2. Foxes got to try to stem the tide and reverse the momentum if they can. Frodo goes deep off the Hive back wall, but Black will get the touch he needs. That infield pass goes nowhere as Frodo's back getting boost. Black and D-Lou on a 2v1 in the Foxes' end. Frodo gets the touch back out towards midfield. He'll have enough to follow it looks like. Looks to try to utilize everything in the tank. That pinch will send it back to midfield. D-Lou gets it past 1. That's an opportunity for the Hive. Black off the back wall, in frame. Tyler has a tough assignment in front of him, but he's able to do it and get it back to midfield, and the Hive will regroup there. Right wing side, 60 seconds left. Frodo equal to this. D-Lou comes in, has control at the midfield, tries for another one, but Tyler jumps in front of him with 48 ticks left. He'll jump off the sidewall, try to follow this in, and Black gets the clear. One of these teams has a hero in Game 2. Black might be it for the Hive as he gives them a 5-4 lead. 3 unanswered for the Hive.
Long ball by Black, catches Frodo, trying to read that one, turns but doesn't recognize Black's already up for the chance. If it gone back to net, might have been there, and that's a big one for the Hive. They rally from 4-2 down. They take the lead 5-4 late.
39 ticks left. The Foxes find themselves in the Hive's position earlier in this game. That's going to bounce off the lateral ramp, but Tyler has to give chase in his own end. Has to try to turn and put it crossways. He will. Side to side, wall to wall, but right there for Black. Gets it off the trunk. The backboard play by Tyler is not very good, and the pinch play is going to put the Foxes in a great spot. Tyler in front for D-Lou. D-Lou is going to get the clear, and Frodo has to give chase in his own end, but has 2 Hive players bearing down his neck. 12 seconds to go. That's going to bounce at the midfield line. Tyler goes lateral. Doesn't have the control, but he puts it off the lateral wall in the challenge. Frodo's got a tough assignment in front of him. Tyler towards that net. It's going to go off the back wall. Tries for the double, and it's not going to go. The Hive are able to walk away and survive Game 2. They win it 5-4.
Talked about them being lucky in Game 1. Felt like they didn't need to be lucky in this game, although they'll take the small stretch of it that they got in the equalizer, as it was the own goal by the Foxes that set them up for that winner late in the series. The Foxes playing better. They put the Hive on the back foot, which is what they needed to do. 9 shots on goal, but only 3 saves out of the Hive. A couple of those chances by the Foxes. Probably want some of those ones back.
Yeah, no kidding. And now the Foxes find themselves in a position where they can't afford any more mistakes. All of their room for error is gone. They must win 3 straight to move into the conference final, and the Hive are chomping at the bit to get the Foxes to dig deeper into the hole that they're making for themselves, essentially, with these unforced errors in their own end.
and they have such a tough ask against the Hive roster that all through the regular season, this pairing only allowed 1.5 goals per game. They gave up 4 in this one, but you get the sense that the changes that the Hive need to make, they're probably on the horizon here. With a 2-0 lead in the series, it's up to the Foxes now to dig deep to find at least one game to try and start this reverse sweep. But the Hive, all they need to do is continue to be patient. The Foxes have been scrambling. The Foxes have been difficult for themselves. And as long as they take advantage of the chances in front of them, they should come away with a 3-0 sweep.
They need a couple of games to do it, but they start with one game. And more microscopic, they start with one goal. Getting the first one may be crucial for the Foxes and maybe to put them on a bit of a momentum run here as the Hive looking to put this series away. Frodo in front of his own net gets the touch as we're underway with game number 3. It's a do or die for the boys in orange as they try to extend this series. Over the midfield line, Hive with a chance in front. D-Lou pass across to Black as he tried to bring it to him. Nice save in front. Now Tyler back the other way towards the Hive net. It'll be a save coming across. D-Lou makes the play, but the Foxes still not letting them breathe. That's a good start offensively for the Foxes as they can't really afford to give the Hive any room to work in their own end. Off the sidewall. That's a Plinko ball towards the Hive net. Black's got to be careful and he can't get there in time. Foxes have a 1-0 lead.
D-Lou doesn't get a ton of power on this clear, and Tyler just predatory from the midfield line, keeps it in, gets a great pinch off the sideboard. Black does everything to try and get there, can't reach it. Might have been able to get there in a Mantis or a Batmobile, just get those few extra pixels on the hitbox, but won't clear it away, and the Foxes lead here early.
And we come into this part, and as we have gone just about past the first minute of gameplay, still have a few seconds left in it, but the Fox is seemingly in a much better time space towards the net, and that's going to be a double save there as both Hive players will commit to that. Fox is setting something up in the offensive end. That touch off the back needs some help from Frodo. Tyler with the catch might need to set him up again, but again, this time D-Lou is equal to it. He'll get it back to midfield at the very least, as Frodo will again put it deep into the Hive side. 3:45 to go as we're a minute 15 in. Tyler's going to try to make things difficult in the corner. D-Lou into the middle. Black has possession, trying to get it past Frodo, but Frodo has the challenge and puts it towards the sidewall. Another one goes corner to corner, side to side. Up for Black, has the touch, shaves the ceiling with it. That's going to go towards the far side post. Didn't find a way in. Off the backboard. How about another one? Chance in front that's going to go past the midfield line. Frodo can't get there. Black trying to set up. Hive have an opportunity here to get it back level, and they will as this goes far side and in. Black ties the game at 1.
Good pressure from the Hive here as Black just waits for Tyler to jump over top of that. Great little touch as well. Frodo should have had a line at that one. Not sure how that one got missed. Might have thought there was a different shot coming, and the Hive just split the Foxes D as best they can and tie the game up at 1.
That'll go into the Foxes corner again right away. Tyler will wait. That's a touch there for D-Lou. D-Lou shot on net. Frodo equal to it on the near post. Back towards Black. Over midfield. Tyler has it in his possession. Looking for a second touch. That's hard off the back. Frodo in the area, but not going to get there in time, as he'll have to travel to the sidewall to try to keep it in the Foxes' possession, but failed to do so. Off the backboard. Foxes need a clear. Tyler gets that clear. It's going to Plinko off the ramp. He'll give it a follow. Has enough boost to do this, and he's not able to get the last contact. Frodo towards the net. Still a save from D-Lou. Very close to giving them a 2-1 advantage, and the Foxes will have to chase it in their own corner once again.
That one's awkward too by the Foxes as they don't get the ball in their corner under control. It takes a couple of cracks at it. D-Lou putting it out in front to let the Foxes get that one cleared away. Tough for the Foxes right now as the transition still seemingly a problem for them. The Hive able to get that one through their midfield and put them under real pressure in front of their net.
Into the offensive corner for the Foxes. Chance over the midfield line, though. Hive with a really nice play on the interrupt, and Black has an open net to shoot at. He's not going to miss those very often. 2-1 lead. Hive back in front.
Massive dunk as Frodo just trying to tip that away. The Foxes very condensed in their rotation there. Black takes advantage. One challenge, beats 2 players, drives it home, and the Hive have all they need to win this one. They're ahead with 2 minutes to go.
See if the Foxes have enough in them to try to come back. Hive have enough goals to end this series. This will be a run towards the Foxes' net, far side and wide of the intended target at the left post. Good Good touch by Black. That's an empty net to shoot at. Tyler not going to get there in time, and Black gives them a 2-goal lead.
Fox is trying to bring this one out. Frodo slows it down, but drives right into the challenge by Black. It's good. It's high enough to block any potential flick out of the Fox's player, and Tyler trying to recover on the challenge, won't get across to the net in time. 2-goal lead now for the Hive with the Foxes against match point.
106 seconds to go. Frodo going to try to get one back. They need it. Gets the dunk he needs and gets them back to within a strike. That was desperate times for the Foxes, and they made it work.
Well, desperate times as well as Frodo punting Tyler through that ball, sets up the dunk on Black. This time, Frodo getting high on top of the person that dunked them for the 3-1 goal. That's a big one. The Foxes staying alive here against the Hive.
One shot away from potentially bringing us back even in game number 3. See what the Hive can do in retaliation, if anything. Frodo's going to go deep with this towards the Hive net. It's touched off the back. Tyler there to try to finish it. That's not going to go. And we're back towards the corner. Hive trying to get it away. Tyler keeps it difficult. Tries to follow this. Has the touch. It's down for Frodo. Going to try to turn this towards the net, and the Hive have the save as Black plays it well. Knows exactly where they're going to put the ball and positions himself perfectly to be in front of it. 65 seconds to go. Foxes continue to pepper the Hive net. Another dunk is going to find its way home as Frodo does it again, this time to get them back level with a minute to go.
Not sure if Black ever found boost for that sequence, but the ball popping up awkwardly for Delu. Had to try and do a little bit more with that one. Couldn't put it in the corner, unfortunately. And Frodo read it the whole way, puts the Octane in front. 2 big dunks have the Foxes back in this one.
60 seconds left. 3-3 game. It'll be a chance over the midfield line for Tyler. Given away to Delu. Delu has an empty net to shoot at. Goes just wide of the right post. Foxes have possession. Delu is behind him. Foxes know that. That'll be Frodo putting it towards the net. Black is fine with that shot. That's a play in front. Delu is going to get beat to it on the dunk attempt. Right in front. They need a clear, and they'll get one, at least for the time being. Tyler gets the demo. Frodo gets the demo. Tyler can't put it towards the net. With 30 seconds left in this game, the Foxes seem to be right in line with what they want to do as they are trying to force the play on the Hive end, and it's working for the most part.
The one place that they need to not get beat is that midfield line. If they don't have it, they won't matter. Tyler finds a way through the Hive. The Foxes lead late in game 3.
12 seconds left, and Black has to rotate back post from here. Lets Delu go after it, but he takes a really odd angle at the ball, and it trickles right by him into the far side. That's what the Foxes needed. They have enough goals to force a game 4.
So much pressure from the midfield line in. That was what the Foxes needed to do here. As long as they didn't get broken down in that rotation, they were fine. Frodo will pick one up, just puts it off the post, looking for the insurance. Black has to keep it up, won't do it. Foxes, first game of the reverse sweep in the book. They take the series to 2-1.
That is a big win, obviously. That means they survived for one more game, but the Foxes did to the Hive what the Hive have been doing to them all series long, and that's forcing the play in the Hive's end, making them touch it in awkward situations with not a lot of boost to their credit, and able to take advantage of opportunities. The Foxes with empty nets, with dunks, with things like that in those awkward situations the Hive they were not able to make the saves.
20 shots on goal for Tyler and Frodo in that one, forcing 12 saves out of the Hive. There was so much pressure mounted on the Black net at that far end of DFH Stadium that it was almost an inevitability that the Foxes were going to get through, but the Hive were doing everything they could to prevent it. They had the 3-1 lead at one point in this game. It looked almost destined for the sweep, but the Foxes, they found the gear that they needed to, and now they've got the first one. Well, just 2 more to do.
And now you look at the situation as such, the Foxes, even though they're one loss away from losing the series and ending their season, they're also 1 win away from potentially forcing a decisive game 5. That's the nice part about this, is they have the opportunity here to make the Hive play their game. The pressure's on the Hive. It's the hardest win to get in Rocket League. It's that in any organized sport. It's that last one to get you moved on to the next particular series. This is it for the Hive. This one and one more is all the chances they get, as Frodo is going to have the first touch, and that one goes off the crossbar. Tyler in a good spot to try to retaliate. He's going to put it home. The Foxes, 7 seconds in, have enough goals to win.
Banger by Frodo off the kickoff. Tyler takes the time, gets the boost. The Hive in full scramble mode, can't ever get a read on this one, and Tyler puts that one clean in. The Hive still reeling from that Game 3 loss.
I'm going to try to get a comeback going here. Got to try to stem the tide the Foxes have given them. Going deep towards the Hive net, though. The return is Dilu in front of his own net. Going to get this cleared away. Black will give chase up the sidewall. Dilu up above his crossbar, has the good defensive play, puts it into the corner. How about that goes off the back? Frodo there, empty net scores, upper 90, give them a 2-0 advantage.
Big pressure again out of the Foxes as Dilu puts that one into the corner. Good spot to get there, but can't get the follow-up touch. It's a little bit uncontrolled from the Hive, and the Foxes will take their chances where they can get them. Frodo drills that one in off the pass from Tyler.
And the Foxes taking advantage of just about every opportunity that they've been given over the last couple minutes of gameplay going back to the previous game. Tyler going to try to add a third, and he has the carry. The Hive are getting shell-shocked here in front of their own net. It's 3-0.
They've got to stop with the cheat kickoff. I think that's the second or third time we've seen it in a couple of games here. Is the Foxes win the ball, they win it effectively, and the Hive are forced to completely chase backwards with no boost. There's not a lot of room to work with. Tyler just picks it up from the corner, takes it to the house, and that's a big 3-goal lead now for the Foxes.
This will be Frodo back towards the Hive net. Black will put it into the corner. Plenty of space given by the Foxes. Tyler going to come in late to try to challenge. He'll wait. Takes it off the sidewall. Black in front of his own net. Tyler gets it past him, but it goes goalward. This will bounce in frame. Hive need a clear. That goes off the nose. Still left wing side. Tyler towards that net. Dilu needs to have a defensive touch on him. He does. This will go back to midfield. Black towards the net. Save coming out as Tyler will get in front of it. That'll go up the sidewall, but right towards the Foxes as they pepper that back towards the Hive net. Tyler knocks that off the nose. Dilu gets the touch. That'll pass back to Frodo. They seem to be finding their groove. Again, just a reminder, Tyler and Frodo to this point had not played together in organized play. They seem to be finding a rhythm and making it work at the time they need it most in this Game 4 where they need a win to survive. Black is there, trying to get them on the board. Dilu, that goes crossbar and down but away, and the Foxes will survive still with the 3-0 lead intact.
For those keeping track at home, the Foxes had 10 shots on goal inside the first 75 seconds of this game. Those last two chances for the Hive, their first 2 shots on goal so far in this Game 4.
Frodo into his own corner. Hive don't want to waste any more time. It would benefit them huge to be able to get one in the back of the net basically right now and start the comeback trail if they can. Top of the box, Dilu. Plinko play off the sidewall. He's going to bounce right at Frodo. Tyler in the same spot as well. A little positioning mistake, but they correct it quickly. Black towards the net. Tyler reads it, able to get it away from net. Coming in, Dilu. They're going to continue to pepper the backboard. It's going to be right in front, and finally the Hive are on the board. It's Dilu getting it back to a 2-goal deficit.
Finally get the aggressive rotations they need to starve the Foxes out of boost and finally break this down as Frodo, unfortunately, won't have the rotation right. Dilu puts a great ball off the backboard to make it tough for the Foxes to defend, and the Hive, on their 5th shot here, finally get the breakthrough they need.
Halftime about to come and go in game number 4. Foxes trying to force a decisive game 5. So far, they're in a good position to do that. The Hive have their first goal, which is a real big one, as they try to start this wave going back the other way. Frodo towards the net, though, on the rebound, able to get this back to a 3-goal lead with 2:18 to go.
Black on the touch there, just couldn't get enough power. Tyler had a great read, and then a bump on Dilu as well to really make it tough for the Hive players to defend. Dilu did the best they could to try and come across, but Frodo on the doorstep will put the lead back up to 3.
Hive going to try the cheat kickoff once more. Dilu up and over, and he's got it. Get him back to 2 goals again, as they have 3 combined goals in the span of about 16 seconds.
They finally get the cheat to work because this time Tyler goes for boost. They weren't really expecting that ball to die at midfield. It hadn't really been so far this game. As the Hive get the kickoff they need, that's an important goal too. Get them back within 2 goals.
Let's reset here. It's a 2-goal lead. The Hive have given up the handicap at this point. They need to get a couple more going in their direction to end this series in 4 games. Black is going to have the touch. This is going to be sent towards the sidewall in the Hive end. Dilu tries to follow this. Black going to wait patiently on it as the Foxes will attack. 50 goes the way of the Foxes. That's in front. Frodo down to Tyler, but Tyler regroups back. There'll be a chance for Delu. Tries the dribble, gets the dribble, and finds the way to get him back to within a goal with 1:44 to go.
So much space given up by the Foxes in the rotation here. Delu recognizes it well, controls it to mid, baits out the challenge, cuts back inside. Frodo can't get there in time, and the Hive, 2 unanswered now to pull themselves within 1.
This has turned into the exact opposite of what we were thinking. 3 combined goals per game. You and I were both in the same train, thinking that might be what we see, but we've seen a lot more than that. Going into a possible decisive game 5, this is in front, and Black has gotten them back even with two more goals to make it 4-4.
Huge dunk by Delu off the kickoff. Black gets a great touch. Frodo's a little over-rotated at the near post, and the scramble goes the way of the Hive. It floats in back post. All of a sudden, the 4-1 lead is gone. It's 4-all.
Don't look now, but next goal could be a real big momentum turn. Foxes trying to be the ones to get that. It'll be Frodo losing that ball near midfield. It'll be Tyler coming in to try to keep it in the Hive end. Frodo making things difficult for Delu, but he's able to get out of there. Into the Foxes' corner. Gonna try to put this in frame. Tyler off the back, tries for the pinch. It goes right to Frodo, who gets the long play, and the demo on the backside may have caused the Hive not to be able to maintain possession there.
That was such a critical demo because the clear from the Foxes off their own post was awkward. It was hanging out at the front, the top of the box for the Hive to shoot, but no player there lets the Foxes get away with that one here. They seem to be the ones rattled after a huge start, had the Hive reeling. They've pulled back into this one.
This will be a chance for Tyler. Tyler with an opportunity, but can't get it over Delu. Good defense from Delu to bait them into that touch. Frodo, off the ceiling it'll come. Tyler puts it deep into the Hive corner. It'll get the bounce they need. Top of the box, but Tyler not able to read where it was going. Frodo does not have a lot of boost. He's going to have to try to grab pennies and play the back wall. He does successfully to get it back out to the side. 30 ticks left. One of these teams certainly has a heroic moment in them. Who is it going to be? 20 seconds to go. Double touch off the ceiling. Not going to go. Frodo has to try to recover this defensively, does so, and has possession towards the right side wall in his own end. He's going to try to work it on a dribble. Works it past 1. Has 1 to beat in Delu. Has Tyler coming midfield. Gonna work it towards frame, but Delu gets the clear, and we have OT coming, possibly, but Tyler's gonna keep it up. Towards the net. In the middle. They score! 0 seconds. Frodo forces game 5.
What a play by Tyler. Keeps it alive. Reads the bounce well. Knows a little chip out front is perfect as Frodo waits on their doorstep. What a goal. The Foxes, they weather the storm. They force game 5.
Comeback is good so far. They have come back and given themselves a chance at the reverse sweep with a berth in the conference finals on the line. The Hive are reeling at this point. They could use a real piece of good news now as the Foxes have come back from 2-0 down in the series to make it a 1-game playoff to move to the next round.
25 total shots by these teams as it turned into a track meet. Not something you or I expected looking at the defensive statistics of all 4 players coming into this one. I have absolutely no predictions left. I just want to see some end-to-end fast-paced Rocket League to end this series.
This is what we were looking for. A good competitive series and a great way to kick things off on the MLE Esports GG A stream, as it were. B stream still going on as well. GG2 is how you get over to there. They've got some action going right this minute, but we are just about to get into game 5, and one of these teams is moving on. One of these teams is going home, and this is likely, at this point, one of the biggest, if not the biggest game these 4 players have played in their Rocket League career.
The Hive came into this one as a number 2 seed. They narrowly missed out on the first round bye with a couple of games that they dropped in the final weeks of the regular season. And that's going to be something that might weigh on their minds here. They know that they have what it takes to beat the Foxes team. They've had them on match point now for 2 games. This is the 3rd crack at it, but the Foxes now 1 game away from the reverse sweep.
Seems like they found a rhythm talking about Tyler and Frodo. See if the Hive can come in and take that away. That'll be in front. Black trying to get the first strike. That's not going to go. Save in front as we have 10 seconds gone in game 5. Hard off the back. And it's going to be down for Delu. It takes a shot, and Frodo's equal to it. Hive starting things out fast in the offensive end. A nice demo defensively for the Foxes puts Black on an island, and Frodo's going to try to go to challenge. Black in a good spot, though. Towards the net, he scores. Give the Hive the first strike in game 5, and they force the defenders to come get him.
Oh, Frodo chasing that one. Black does an incredible job of controlling it up the boards, knows that they have to buy D-Lu some time, and the Foxes completely caught underneath that one. Black does it themselves, and the Hive with the lead in Game 5.
29 seconds in, first goal on the board. Fox is going to have to find one here to try to keep this comeback attempt alive. D-Lu into the middle, has Black there. Tyler makes a touch, but it's not a good one. Frodo towards the back wall. Hive are there. That goes off the post and not able to finish it. And now the Foxes might have a return the other way. Both Foxes up the sidewall, both touching net. Not great communication on that side. And now the Hive are going to return back the other way. This is going to go into the offensive corner. Chance for Black to do something here. He's got D-Lu in the middle. Pass across, and that's going to find its way home. D-Lu gives them a 2-0 lead.
Frodo, after looking for the bump, turns around, goes straight to net. Had this lined up, but it's such a tough save to make when you're deep in your net trying to come back out. The passing play works for the Hive. 2-0 lead.
Just over a minute gone in Game 5. Foxes need to find now 3 total goals to win, but it starts with the first one. That's going to bounce off the intersection down. Off the nose comes Frodo. D-Lu puts this deep into Fox's territory. Tyler's going to go up the back wall. Has the play off the ceiling, going to try to follow this. Has the air roll. Pass into the middle. D-Lu is there trying the near side. Frodo is on the goal line. He'll make the save. And now he has a little bit of possession and a little bit of room to work, as the challenge will at least take it away from him temporarily, but Tyler is there. Offensive zone for the Hive. Getting the boost and hitting the ball is D-Lu. That's going to be hard off the back right there, but a good save. Tyler gets in front of him and knocks it away just in the nick of time, and that may prove to be a crucial save later as we're down to our last 3 minutes of gameplay.
The Hive right now, their rotations, they're managing the boost a little bit better than the Foxes. You see Frodo on your screen there wide, away from the play, looking for boost. The Foxes are spending a ton of boost chasing the play right now, not really able to get an offensive stance, and D-Lu picks the pocket of Tyler in front of the Foxes' net. That's a 3-goal lead.
The cardinal sin here by Tyler, playing the ball in front of his own net. You can borrow that analogy from about 3 different net sports, and unfortunately Tyler pays a terrible price and gives the Hive a 3-goal advantage.
3-goal leads, though, have been not the easiest to defend in this series, and we'll see if the Foxes have it in them to knock the Hive off of this one and pull this one a little bit closer with half the game to go.
Black going to try to add one more. He gets the touch off the nose, but it's not fantastic. Tyler trying to get past Black here. Tyler gets yeeted into the corner. That's going to go hard off the back wall, and Frodo going to remove that. He'll take it towards the side wall, and it puts Tyler on a bit of an island. It'll hit the corner and bounce out towards midfield. A good demo by the Hive. Might set up Black in an opportunity, but it's going to trickle towards the Hive net, and they'll regroup there with a ton of room and a ton of boost. Be a chance for the Hive in front. Goes top of the box with this. Frodo down, but it's right to Black. Hive, offensively, the demo is a good one. They have to wait before they can try and attack again. This will be an opportunity off the nose of Tyler. Frodo waiting back across the midfield stripe in his own end. He'll have to attack now and does. Puts a bounce into the air. It'll go right to Tyler. Tyler needs a boomer. He's going to get one as that goes hard off the corners. We come to our last 100 seconds in a 3-0 game. The Foxes need to start the comeback right now if they have any chance at getting this done. This will be in front, trying to finish it. They do. It is D-Lu giving them a 4-0 advantage, and that may be the icing on the cake.
Huge flick by Tyler to set, or by Black, excuse me, to set that up. Tyler tries to tip it away into the corner, won't be able to, as Black does enough to disrupt that. D-Lu follows up with the rotation. That goal might put the Foxes out of this one here. It's a 4-goal lead.
That is going to be Black off the kick. In front. Hive may be adding one more, and it's D-Lu again as he does it again, his 4th goal of this Game 5.
Frodo, unfortunately, doesn't get the cleanest touch off the backboard. It's a good idea coming cross-field to put that one into space, but D-Lu is there to occupy it very aggressively off of the kickoff, and the Hive add insult to injury. It's a 5-0 lead now here in this decisive game.
It's a big time to have a 5-0 score. The Hive seem to have woken up quite a bit as they take their Fox counterparts and possibly bury their season. Crossways, side to side. Frodo is there, up over midfield. That's a shot towards the net. Black is equal to it as he comes across. About 60 seconds to go. D-Lu, already 4 goals, has a 5th in mind, but he's going to get demoed. Over 1. Tyler needs a save. He's going to get one as we come down to the last 53 seconds. Fox is having a hard time getting it out of their own end. Black towards the net, and it's going to be wide of that right post. Fox is unfortunately time not on their side. Neither is the score, as they are likely looking at a swan song in this series. Game 5, unfortunately, did not sit as well with them as games 3 and 4 did, as that's going to be in front of the net to kill more time.
The Hive shutting the Foxes out entirely, but for a single shot to this point, 12 for the Hive, as the heat map for this one almost firmly planted on the orange half here of DF8 Stadium. It's 15 seconds to go. One more shot for the road by the Hive. How about a second one, as the Hive, they recover from giving up 2 games in the series. They'll take Game 5 in emphatic fashion by a score of 5-0, as that one, Tyler almost looking for the own goal. And it's just about done. There it is. The Hive walk away, convincing winners here. They advance to the Blue Conference Final.
And a huge congratulations to the Hive. Black and D-Lu finished the job, although it looked a little bit dicey there as the Foxes really found a rhythm in games 3 and 4, but nice congratulations to the Foxes as well on a very good season. Arctic Division champions, and looking forward to seeing what they can do in season number 11 a few months from now. That said, the Hive move in. They're one of 2 teams in the conference that are going to be fighting for a chance at the Academy League Championship, and it can't be more proud of what those guys were able to do. I believe we're going to try to get Black in here for a post-game conversation with us here in the booth. We'll see if we can get that going, but a great series from the Hive, and looking forward to seeing what they can do as the field thins even more.
It looked like the Hive were ready to run away with this one after the first 2 games. They weathered a tough game 2 from the Foxes after getting the balances to go their way in game 1. But as soon as the Foxes found that gear that they were looking for, they really put the Hive on the back foot. What was it, 20 shots in one of those games that the Foxes won? They had the Hive at their mercy. They were absolutely peppering the net with shots. And unfortunately, in the game that mattered the most, Curtis, the very last one, the toughest one to win in any best of series, pretty much anywhere in all of sport or esports, the Foxes just could not come up with it, and the Hive's third crack at the can was the good one.
Yeah, third time's a charm at that point, and they did what they needed to do to get things done. It took them a little more time than they wanted to take to do it, but here we are. Plenty of plays in that series. If you saw one that you liked, grab it, clip it, send it to us on Twitter at MLE Esports GG with the hashtag MLEPOTW. Winning play and player will receive a case of Balls Guarana delivered to their door completely free of charge from our friends over at Balls. If you want a case shipped free to your door plus the cost of actual product, you can get that to happen as well. Go to balls.com, use code MLE at checkout, and you can get free shipping on one of their beautiful cases of multiple flavors of Balls Energy Soda. I like the root beer. That I continue to say is my favorite because it's, in my opinion, the best one. But you be the judge. Find one that you like and use it forever. Really good place to get your liquid energy from. That said, our friends over at PowerA do some really good work with quality controllers for a not-so-quality price. Get over there and check them out, PowerA.com. They do the controllers for systems dating back all the way to PS3, and they can definitely hook you up as soon as you get over there and tell them what you want. So we'll have the interview with Black here coming up in just a moment. But Jay, as we look ahead real quick, Champions League comes into focus just after this.
Yeah, we've got the next match of the night on deck. It'll be the number 5 seeded Hurricanes, wildcard winners last week in a convincing sweep of their match, going up against the Aviators, who basically ran a track meet against their division rivals in the Ducks to make their way through as 3-1 winners. That one I expected to be more like this one, a lot of scoring in that Aviators Duck series that you and I called last week, and I expect there to be pretty much more of the same out of the Aviators unless they figured out a way to dial down on the kickoff goals. We saw 5-6 in a minute or something like that in one of those games.
Yeah, that was absolutely nuts. I agree. As we come into this, it actually turns out we're going to have D-Lu, not Black, coming in for the interview, which actually that is a really good thing because he popped off Game 5. Would love to talk to him here shortly. But yeah, the Champions League going to be in focus after this, so we'll get a chance to see a bit of elevated competition as far as the mechanics go. If you guys are new to MLE, we have 4 different leagues, 4 different skill tiers, and all of them get streamed. So from the Foundation League to the Academy League, we go to the Champions League, and then the Premier League as well is our top league so far in the organization. So I think the playoffs have tonight we have a little bit of everything on both streams going forward. So if you guys are looking for a variety of different mechanics and gameplay, you've come to the right spot. Still waiting on the interview to get going. We're waiting on Dilu to get the link for the call, and we'll get him in here very shortly. Good stuff, though. These playoffs, Jay, it's been competitive basically throughout. I can't think of a I can't think of a series that I didn't really want to watch, and they've come to show out every player that's been playing in these playoffs.
That's the beauty of the MLE playoffs, though. We get the times when, you know, there's a team that has a tough series that just doesn't quite get the gears going on the day. But there's so many big series. There's so many ones that end up being memorable throughout the course of histories. We're in our 10th season right now, that there's just so many moments to go back to across the years to see some legendary playoff matches. There have been reverse sweeps, more than I can think of, than I can count of. There's been all kinds of upsets, all kinds of things. So this is the type of thing that you're into. Make sure you follow the links to the website, mlesports.gg, and see yourselves on the field for Season 11 starting up later this year.
Go hashtag from couch to field as soon as you can, or from chair to field, as probably most of you are sitting in a chair right now looking at your screens like I am at the moment. But not only that, the website, but you can also get us on the socials, Twitter at MLEsportsGG. If I can be selfish for a moment, and Jay as well, at InanimateJ on Twitter, at RL_Curtis on Twitter. You can find us there, as well as most if not all of the casting personalities for MLE. All you need to do is ask at that point. They'll give them to you. But there's a lot of people behind the scenes that don't get enough love for what they do in this organization. Simple in the background, RJ in the background as well. Simple's running the buttons, making us look better than we ever could on our own. And then RJ running match official, working on getting interviews set up and getting everything else done. And so it's it's a really nice thing to have everybody come together, make a competitive environment, make things fun for not only the viewers like you guys, but also the players. And it's really fun to have everybody coincide to make an effort to make that a common goal.
Exactly. It's with the type of community that they've been able to build here over the years, with, you know, trying to create a positive, supportive environment for players to play in, and to put them on stream. A lot of players will dream of playing on stream, in front of casters, in front of audiences, and for an organization like Minor League Esports to be able to put that together and consistently put on a good quality production like we're able to do, I think is a huge testament to the amount of effort by the organization to really encourage and foster growth at all levels of Rocket League.
Exactly. We're still working on getting Dilu in here. If we can't here in a second, we will go ahead and move along. But we're doing what we can to get arguably the hero of Game 5 for that series. And a reminder, we have more coming up. We've got 3 more series on the main channel coming up after this. Champions League comes into focus. It's the Hurricanes and the Aviators going to do battle in just a few minutes' time. And I think we are good to bring in our guest of honor at this time. It is going to be Dilu coming in and saying hello to us. So let's say hello to him. Dilu, good series. Congrats, my friend. You're moving into the conference finals. That 5th game. How much of a stress was it when you got into that Game 5, and what was the conversation like before it happened?
I don't know if it was very stressful. I do remember the very end of Game 4 as the ball got past me, I was just like, I told Black, I was like, good luck. And then as the ball came around in the corner, I was like, Black, jump, 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 jump. And after we ended, we were just like, all right, well, we'll get him in the next game. And we were like, we knew we had to play faster, because that 4th game, was it the 4th game? One of the games we gave up like 20 shots. And we were like, this is terrible. Like, we need to play a lot faster. So that was the only like thought off the kickoff in Game 5 was like, we'd rather overcommit and play fast than play too passive again. So that's how we try to go with it. And got a few early goals with it. So.
Yeah, were you noticing that after the first two games were things? I mean, game one, you could say that game one was the one that really kind of went your way with a couple of bounces, a couple of own goals there. But after game two, with knowing that you have them on match point to that point, we talk about it a lot in sport when you get the psychology creeping in. Was there any kind of that overconfidence maybe going in that let the Foxes back into it? You guys kind of pulled your foot off the gas and let them back into the series more so than them taking it?
Possibly. I know with Black and I, we sometimes play passive because we know we can make saves. And if we get like too content in a game, then we just end up always being on our goal line trying to make saves. And in that game 3, like every time we try to make a save, it would go right to them on a rebound. So that's when they backed up all the shots, and we were like, all right, we got to get out of this habit somehow. We got to try to make it work. We got to start pushing again. And in game 3, I think I was taking too much boost. Black was like, I'm on no boost the entire time. So I was just like, oh, well, we got to figure that out. So that was kind of the tactical change, I guess.
Fair enough. Going into the conference finals, I don't know how much teams really look into this. Have you looked at who your opponent might be? Do you have a preference, or do you guys really care?
I haven't seen what happened in the other game. I know it's the Hurricanes and the Puffins. I'm good friends with a lot of them, so either opponent, well, they'll provide different challenges, but we're pretty excited to play either of them. It's a good feeling to be able to make it this far.
Yeah, absolutely. You're down to the last, 4 teams that are going to be left after this is done. So congrats to you in getting this far. Any shout outs before we go ahead and let you go?
I just want to shout out the rest of my team, Steven the Hobo and Super Flame. We had probably one of the more consistent teams throughout the entire season, and it was a blast to be able to play with them. They're very active guys. We had like 200 games worth of scrims, things like that really helped a lot. So I'm super, super proud of my team and what we've done over the past few months.
Well, I know they're proud of you as well. Go celebrate with your team.
Thanks.
Jay? Have a good one.
So that was Dilo, GM of the Hive franchise, with the interview from pitch side there. And Curtis, we saw the series that we weren't really expecting in that track meet for both teams, right. And I think you and I need to go towel off. So before we go, reminder, folks, clip your favorite plays from that last series. Send them to us on Twitter at MLE Sports GG with the hashtag MLEPOTW. Submit them for the play of the week, presented by our friends at Balls Guarana Energy Soda. The winner each week, including the playoffs, getting a case sent to their doorstep by our friends at Balls. Get yours free with code MLE at checkout at ballsbawls.com. We're going to go to break. When we come back, the Champ League takes focus as the Hurricanes and the Aviators get set to do battle. You don't want to miss this. The MLE Season 10 playoffs continue here live on twitch.tv.